Hey everyone, back to Cleaners and Degreasers, where we cover a lot of territory here. We cover a lot of subjects. If you're not subbed, I suggest getting subscribed today. We cover everything under the sun here when it comes to auto detailing. So I have done a video on the Mean Green before. It was their citrus based. It was okay, but it seemed to be very underpowered. And when I saw this, the super strength, I wanted to see if they gave it enough boost to put it up into the top 5. So let's take a look. Okay, so we're going to start off easy for the Mean Green, and then we'll step it up, make it harder and harder, and see how it performs. We're going to start off here with a dirty engine compartment. It's mostly just loose surface dirt with a little bit of grease and grime here and there around the brake fluid reservoir and power steering. But we'll put a nice even layer across the whole engine compartment, and we'll come in and see what it looks like as it's breaking down all that loose dirt, dust, grime, and oil and fluid, and we'll see how it performs. We'll come in here with a soft detailing brush. Bristles are soft. I mostly use this one for interior work, or I did. I have it now dedicated to this testing and replaced it with another brush for the interior. This is a good brush for testing as it doesn't scrape off, so to speak, what we're trying to see if the chemical breaks it down. It just agitates it a little bit, gets that chemical in there and helps it break some of the stuff down without scraping it off altogether. So the chemical did a good job on the reservoir here, which is what I was wondering, because that's where the fluid stays and collects dirt, and it kind of hardens, and then that we got underneath the hood here. This is mostly loose dirt with a little bit of oil mixed in with it. So I went ahead and did a gentle, thorough rinse, and I dried the best I could so we can come in here and see what it did. And the Mean Green Super Strength does a very good job under the hood for engine compartment detailing. It's fine for that. So let's step it up a little bit further, and we'll go to mats that are pretty dirty and grimy. We'll run a streak right up through the middle here, put a layer. We'll agitate with a brush, soft bristled, medium bristles, and we'll mop it up a little bit and see what we have. Okay, so it did fine there as well. That's two things that it did a half-decent job. We're going to really step it up here, go back out to the transmission casing that we've visited before. We'll put a couple layers of the Mean Green on the casing and watch it break down some of that caked on fluid and oil that has leaked off of the engine and dripped back in through the casing here, and then dirt on top of it. So it's a good test. So what we look for here is we'd like to look at the puddle down below on the cement. We like to see that that's not clear like some of the weaker degreasers are that really didn't do much of anything. We like to see a dark color to see if the chemical is actually breaking down caked on dirt and grime, and you can see here that it is. It's breaking down quite a bit. So we aren't seeing much of the casing yet, but that's a pretty thick layer. So I risk life and limb to jump into this boat. We're back down at the junkyard, guys. We're going to apply it to about 2 decades of growth agitated a little bit, and you can see it's breaking the stuff down. But I've noticed after doing so many of these tests that it doesn't break it down quite as quick. But I got to tell you, it's not far behind. There's a little bit more room to bump it up, Mean Green. If anybody from that company is ever watching, just bump it up a little bit more, and you're right there with the big boys. And you will notice we have found and visited this trailer before. We're going to test another little section here. This is some more growth, probably another decade or two. We like to put the product on, and eventually, after a little agitation, we like to see some of the growth, the dirt, the mold, the mildew. We like to see some of that running down, as we are here, running down the side of the trailer. This is light agitation here, so it's doing a good job. Not quite as quick as some of the stronger ones, but it's doing well. We have definitely seen a lot worse. There have been some chemicals I've really had to scrub to get some of this off. Okay, so that was the Mean Green. It's the super strength. Yeah, it gave it a little bit of a boost, but it still isn't enough to get it into the top 3, top 4. It's a solid level below those when it comes to strength. It cuts a little bit more, cuts a little bit deeper. It's getting there. They have plenty of room to bump it up a little bit more. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. If you have another cleaner you want to add to the list, we have a ton of cleaners to go. So stay tuned. This is Brian from Apex Detail. We'll catch you in the next video.